Hi, my name's Rory Cohen. I'm an idea implementation expert and founder of Take10Now.com, and I'm pleased to be joining you here today on behalf of Health, Work, and Wellness Conference. I've been invited back again as a speaker this year. I'm thrilled about that. And what we're going to be doing today is talking about how to get the most out of the conference, how to prepare for the conference in such a way that you set yourself up to get the most out of it and to implement the big ideas that you get. You know, people spend billions every year on business training. Both companies and individuals spend billions every year on business trainings, events, seminars, and workshops. And did you know that only 10%, and that's a high estimate, of people will ever implement the ideas that they get from those events? It's really an extraordinary figure when you consider the time and money that we invest in those trainings. It's become my passion to help to address that issue and to help set you up for success so that you take advantage of the investment that you've made in this event and go home and implement your ideas. I do that through this post-conference workshop that we're going to be running on how to implement your conference ideas. We're actually create a blueprint for action. But here today I just want to give you 3 tips that you can use right away to set yourself up for success when you come to the event. 3 tips. Tip number 1 is start with the end in mind. Start with as clear a vision as you can possibly get, working with your team if you're coming with a team, on what you would like your business to look like 6 months to a year from now. So this is really a brainstorming exercise, but I really want you to think about if you could wave a magic wand and have things be exactly the way you want them to be, what the business would look like 6 months to a year from now. So what that does is it creates a lens, a filter through which you're going to go into the conference, and neurologically what's happening is you're going to be able to filter through that lens of what you want the company to look like the thousands of imprints that are coming into your conscious mind during the event, and pick out of those inputs only those things that line up with the vision that you have for the company. It's a short exercise. It doesn't take long, maybe 10 minutes before you come, to just sit down and quietly imagine what you would like to see 6 months from now, and it really does help to, at both a cognitive and a subconscious level, help for you to filter out what you're going to be getting from the conference. So that's tip number 1, start with a vision, start with the end in mind. Tip number 2 is to narrow down the big ideas that you really want to focus on. Of course, you're going to be getting ideas from the sessions, you're going to be getting ideas from the networking that you're doing with others, you're going to be hearing about things that make you think, oh, I really want to try that when I get back home. But the truth is, when you get back home, mostly you'll be so overwhelmed with the things that you already have on your plate that only a few of you will actually take action unless you organize for action. So that's what we really want to help you do here. What I do when I go to an event is I actually have a separate place where I just keep my big ideas. I call it big ideas. I have a sheet of paper, and as I'm meeting with people or listening at an event, I get a big idea, one of those ahas, I'll just write it on that separate sheet of paper, so that at the end of each session I have a list of just the ideas that I want to be sure to implement. I have another place where I keep my notes from the event. I don't take too many notes because I know that I'm not really going to go back to them, but just little things that will remind me of what I want to follow up on. But I have all my ideas in that one place on what I call my big idea generator. And then at the end of each session, I do have a discipline of going through those ideas and highlighting the top 3 from that session that I want to make sure I implement. I also have another sheet of paper that I call the Who generator, where I keep track of people and resources that I want to be sure to follow up on. So what it does is pulls out of that the main notes that I'm taking and just highlights the things that I want to be sure to follow up on with the Who generator, the people, and the big idea generator is a list of ideas. So that's the second tip, to keep your ideas separate. Keep them in one place where you can go back to them, you can see them, and also to go back and prioritize at the end of each session the top 3 that you want to follow up on. For those of you who are going to be joining us for the post-conference workshop on Saturday on how to create an action plan using the Take 10 system so that you're guaranteed to implement this, you're going to really be using this. This is really important for you to do. Keep track of the top ideas from each session. And then at the end of the event, before you come into the workshop on Saturday, you're going to have a list of all your ideas. I want you to just pick one. Pick one idea that you want to work on. Come into that post-conference event with one idea you want to be sure to implement, and we'll create an action plan with 10-minute action steps that will guarantee that you'll implement that idea in just 10 minutes a day. You have to come to the event to find out more about that. So that's tip 2. Keep your big ideas in a place where you can easily organize them and reference them. You're going to be choosing one, as I said, to work on, but having them in a separate place means that you can keep going back to that list to take the next ideas when they come up. The truth is that having too many ideas on your plate, having too many things that you're working on at one time, virtually guarantees that you won't take action on any of them because you just get too overwhelmed. So we really want to have you focusing just on one to start with. Once you learn the system, you can take on more than that. But to start out, we're just going to begin with one idea. And the third tip I want to share with you for getting the most out of the conference is take care of your physical body. Drinking water, plenty of water, getting up and moving around occasionally, limiting the sugary and fatty snacks that you eat, all of those will help to bring you into peak performance in terms of concentration and focus so that you can get the most out of the event without being exhausted and overwhelmed. So those are the 3 tips that we have for you today for getting the most out of the Health, Work, and Wellness Conference that are coming up. Start with the end in mind, vision your business success. Number 2, keep track of your ideas in a way that helps you to organize them and just pick one that you're going to focus on when you get back. And the third is to take care of yourself so that you're at peak performance during the conference event. I look forward to meeting all of you in Gatineau in a few weeks. I had such a good time last year. I was really profoundly impressed with the kinds of work that you're all doing, and I'm so grateful to be a part, and even in a small way, of seeing some of these ideas get implemented in your places of work. So we'll see you in Gatineau, and until then, take 10 for your dreams.